Gala Games continues to pump with a 39% boost in the last 24 hours. In this video, we're going to dive down into the technical analysis on Gala to see exactly what is going on and what we might expect to happen next. As we get into this video, guys, if you do find it useful and informative, hit that like button. Really do appreciate that. If you make sure you subscribe, tap that bell, select all notifications if you happen to be new to the channel. Right, with all that said, done, and out of the way, let's jump on down to the desktop and actually start taking a look at Gala Games. Okay, guys, so we're going to start off with just coin market cap, just give it a quick review on what's kind of going on here at that top level, right? So Gala here, we are trading at 72.2 cent at the point of recording this video, right? 39% up in the last 24 hours, right? It's doing incredibly well. We can see that we actually had a high of 77.6 and the trade low today is 49.7. Now, interesting metrics just off the cap here. We obviously have $5 billion market cap, and that is obviously just calculated, a very basic calculation of your last sold price multiplied by your circulating supply, okay? So 5 billion is basically what you'd get if you multiplied 71 cent by 6.9 billion. Okay, pretty standard stuff. It doesn't represent the amount of money gone into the project. It doesn't represent the liquidity. It doesn't represent the value of the project. Just represents the price. Okay, so we can understand what that is. But you know, it's a good way to kind of rank them or rank these cryptocurrencies against them all. Gala Games right now is placed what, 42nd? Yeah, 42nd on the chart at 5 billion market cap. So pretty interesting, right? Circulating supply, as I just said, was 6.98 billion. Total supply is 35.2 billion. There doesn't seem to be a maximum supply, so whether or not that means that you can just continue to increase that total supply overall, which will be interesting. Obviously, we have a little bit of a chart down here. I'm not going to go into that. We'll go into our actual trading view in a moment. For those who don't know, there's a little bit of a spiel here on what Gala Games is, but basically it's just trying to give control of games back to the players, which I think is actually a pretty fundamental thing, specifically as we get into the metaverse. I think it's going to be interesting to see a lot of more kind of blockchain-based games and metaverse-based games that are going to basically enhance the player experience overall. And obviously, we know things with NFTs will obviously have a place in that as well. So it's good to kind of see this thing and what's kind of going on with it. So again, do expect big things from this particular protocol, right? Now, from a market cap point of view, nothing else I can really talk about. So let's jump on down into the charts, right? We're going to start with the weekly here. Obviously, we haven't got a huge amount of data, right? I can actually go ahead and just grab my date range here. We can see that we only really have a total of 70 days. So our weekly chart isn't going to tell us anything useful, right? It's nothing useful is going to come from our weekly chart. Now, we can jump down into our daily. Again, we can get a bit of a flavor, but it's not a huge amount of information here either, right? We have to acknowledge that things are still performing incredibly well, and we're still in that kind of price discovery phase for this one. So the launch of the project is pretty much in line with everything that's kind of going on with metaverses and you know, blockchain games, etc. So obviously there's a lot of hype here. So there's lots of speculation, lots of FOMO, chasing green candles, specifically in the current climate that we're in as well. And we have actually broken down a little bit of TA on Gala Games recently, where we kind of go into the more smaller time frames and we take a look at the kind of the impulsive moves, the pullbacks, and what to kind of expect next. We'll get into that in a moment. But on here on this daily, we can obviously see some good progress, right? We have that one fib which we're measuring out, waiting to see that kind of pullback, which we did, and then we'll continue that growth to the upside. Now, ultimately, we don't have a huge amount of anchor points to kind of give us a good kind of indication of where we think slightly longer term, you know, we are going to end up in terms of price appreciation, right? And that will come in time. We need more data to be able to accurately kind of predict the trends and to see where things are likely to go. Okay, so we can't really give you anything concrete in terms of a good trend-based fib extension where we think the likelihood is of Gala to end by the end of the bull run, right? So we kind of have to wait for more information to hit the charts so that we can continue that kind of forecasting so that we can see where things are likely to go. Okay, but obviously whilst we continue this run to the upside on the smaller time frames, we can gauge where we're going to have pullbacks, where we're going to start pushing back up again, and we use Elliott theory or Elliott waves for this, right? We basically do wave counts, and we can see either ABC corrections both up and down, or we go for impulsive moves up and down, right? And that's really where the power of trying to trade these earlier projects in, and where you can get in and where you can get out to maximize things. Now, ultimately for Gala here, we're going to have a huge discovery phase. It's going to take some time, specifically with everything that's going on with metaverses. So do have to be patient with the kind of longer term views. But when we come down into our hourly view, this is where we actually go into a bit more detail. So most recently we were tracking this 5 impulsive moves up. Okay, we obviously got into this third wave, which was impulsive, and then obviously we started to see a pullback, which was the fourth wave. This is actually where I started to do this TA, and we can see that we had a target set out for our fifth wave. I like to have my targets lower than where I actually think the fifth wave is likely to go. So this one actually came in about 42, and then obviously that pulled back in, right? And here you can see that we've actually had that after we hit our target. Let me just move that out of the way. We hit our target here. We progressed up. We actually went back down and back tested on that target, by the way, guys. And again, if you're a Patreon member, you'll know that we drew this up. You can see where we're likely to pull back into. So that was actually good to see. And we saw this ABC. So technically we hit my price target here, a little bit above that. We pulled back down and we actually did an ABC here. And if I grab hold of that, you can see the A being just here, the B, and then basically we're pulled up into that C if I do it the right way around. So it was up there. You had that A at the top there, and then we had the B, and then the C, right? So really, really small. I can't really show you. It's probably actually more prominent on something like a 15 or a 5-minute chart, but you can kind of see it there, A, B, C kind of move. Now, from here, we can actually see that we track down again. I'm probably actually better off throwing this into a 30-minute chart or something so we can actually get a bit of a flavor on that. So as basically we're tracking this move here, we can see that we actually had some clear moves. Now, you can either count this as an ABC or a 1 through 5 count, but basically your 1, 2, your 3, your 4, and then your 5, right? Now, wave 3 wouldn't normally be the shortest, and in this scenario it would be. So I think an actual wave count of an ABC would probably be better suited to this particular move. So we could say that we actually pulled back and we actually set that A, B, and C move. And you can argue where you want to put this. You know, no one's going to get their counts exactly right, you know, in terms of the exact positioning, but you can kind of see there was an ABC there. And again, we're tracking this to the upside. Now I'm going to just jump back up into our larger time frames. You can see that ABC down. You can also see that we were tracking more ABC moves here, A, B, and C to the upside. And then obviously we're looking at this move. Now, again, you probably have to go into a smaller time frame to see it, but there'll be an ABC in there. There's definitely an ABC right there. It's really easy for me to spot that one because obviously we had that high wick, we had that low wick, and then we went up there, right? So big ABC in that move. And then here's a much bigger one. You can see this move very clearly on the hourly, right? So you can see there's a big A, B, and C move. Completing that in there, and now we started this impulsive move again, right? And this is really important because when we actually take a look at what's going on over here, we had all of these impulsive moves that were going on. And so basically inside this fifth wave that I had plotted out here, we can see that actually it was full of these impulsive moves as well, right? So there's a bigger impulsive move going on right from down here, and then inside our fifth wave I plotted out the slightly smaller impulsive move that's going on. Right now, we can also see that there's a nice impulsive move going on here. So again, I'll grab hold of this. We can basically see there's 1, there's 2, and then arguably, I probably would have skipped this part as a 3. I'd come up here for a 4, and I'd go here for 5, or down here for 4, and then we'll push up into a fifth wave, okay? And inside each of these, there's going to be lots of corrective moves as well, right? We'll be looking for ABCs to the downside, specifically in wave 4 and wave 2. And then again, you'll be looking for impulsive moves inside of wave 3, 1, and 5. Okay, so 1, 3, and 5, they'll be impulsive. And so ultimately, we are looking to track up to the upside still with Gala, okay? And this is also confirmed when we take a look at that stochastic RSI. Right down at the bottom here, we were oversold. So this is basically kick-starting after this fourth wave correction that we've just had. We are looking to push this up now. And again, if we actually go ahead and grab hold of our fib, we can run this from the top of our wave 3 down to the bottom of our wave 2. And this gives us a bit of an idea as to where things on this fifth wave are potentially likely to go. I would expect us to go up to this probably 1.618 area. And again, on that impulsive move, that would be just short of $1 at 98 cents. That would probably be one area that I'd be looking at. So if I grab hold of this horizontal ray, I'd go ahead and throw that there. And like I said earlier, I always like to make sure I go below. So we have that 1.382 area. And this would probably be an area that I'd like to lock in my profits, get out, and then wait for that next pullback, which again, you would see here as an A, B, and C move. And again, you would capture those profits, right? And again, this is something that we can also take a look at and acknowledge that we've seen with Elrond E-Gold, right? We had a really good impulsive run up here, and then we're in this fourth wave correction, right? So again, I would have my target set, and I would have gone in, locked my profit in earlier, just in case we don't get that full extension, and then we ride it down, we pick it back up again, right? So it's important that we acknowledge that even with Gala here, when we get to the top of this fifth wave, there's going to be a correction. It's going to be perfectly fine. We don't necessarily know how far of a correction that's likely to be right now, but when we get to the top and we start to see the kind of the way that the market's reacting to it, it could be a very quick ABC, and then we're moving back to the upside in a nice rapid way. Overall, Gala's actually looking very, very good, and that's fantastic to see such a project like this doing so well right now. So overall, I'm absolutely pleased to see that everything is actually working out really well. I'm not personally invested in Gala myself, and I don't think Chris is either, but maybe he can confirm on the next live stream. But ultimately, I think it's fantastic to see a project like this do so well right now. Guys, I am going to leave that video right there. If you have found it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap that bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Right, with this said, done, and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.